This is KSN News 3 at 10.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jeff Herndon.
And I'm Julia Thatcher. Kansans made their voices heard. Results for the general election are pouring into the KSN newsroom.
We are covering 350 races around the state, ranging from municipal and school board seats to school bond projects and sales tax measures. You can see the results scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now.
And we do have team coverage. KSN's Peyton Steiner, Jasmine Aduse, and Mike Mahoney are here for you, breaking down the results and getting reaction.
But we begin with Wichita City Council. Half of the seats are up for grabs, but District 1 will for sure have a new council member as Brandon Johnson hit his term limit. After the primary, the candidates vying for his seat were whittled down to 2 tonight. We know Joseph Shepard will fill it. He beat LaWanda DeShazer by nearly 6 in 10 Wichitans in District 6 voting for Shepard over DeShazer. KSN's Peyton Steiner just spoke to the council member elect. He joins us live. Hey, Peyton.
Yeah, Jeff, Julia, when that first round of unofficial results came in, it was still anybody's race. But by the time that second round and final results came in, that gap only got wider in favor of Joseph Shepard, and he will be Wichita's new council member for District 1. He cleared LaWanda DeShazer by about 900 votes, taking about 56% of the total. Mayor Lily Wu and current District 1 councilmember Brandon Johnson were both at Shepard's watch party, and I caught up with the newly elected councilmember there and asked him what issues he would be focusing on first. He said he's looking forward to picking up where Brandon Johnson leaves off and says he will continue the projects Johnson won't have time to finish. Having spent a portion of his life homeless before moving to Wichita, he says he plans to stick to the issues he campaigned on, those being the ordinary issues.
And I promised the people of District 1 that we would focus on those kitchen table issues. And when we talk about the affordable housing crisis, we also have to look at our houseless neighbors and making sure that we are supporting them as well. So those will be 2 things that I'm really looking forward to diving deep on and using my lived experience to help cultivate policies and projects to bring some more well-rounded, holistic policies and projects to life.
He credits the win to his entire team that canvassed for him and individuals like Brandon Johnson who officially endorsed him. Brandon Johnson will still be the city council member District 1 through the end of December, but in January, that's when Joseph Shepard will take his seat at the city council. Here for you in front of City Hall, Peyton Steiner, KSN News 3.
Peyton, thank you. 2 other city council seats on the ballot in Wichita. In District 3, Mike Hoheisel is keeping his seat. He beat political newcomer Genevieve Howerton by over 500 votes. In January, Hoheisel will begin his second term representing the South Side.
Thank you, Wichita, from my family to yours. Thank you again, another 4 years. I'm going to be at work tomorrow.
Without naming names, Hoheisel thanked his opponents, but says the past is in the past and he is ready to work for everyone, even those who did not vote for him. In District 6, Maggie Ballard easily secured a second term. She received 62% of the vote, beating Brett Anderson and Margaret Shabazz. Ballard says she is ready to continue her work.
We still are working on affordable housing. We still have a lot of work to do in the mental health area, but I know that we're working really hard on it, and we have a lot of awesome projects in the process, so we're just ready to see them be up fully staffed and full capacity.
One of her top priorities, completing the multi-agency center, also known as Second Light.
A school board that oversees the state's largest school district will have new faces come the new year. More than half of the seats were on the ballot this election cycle. KSN's Jasmine Aduse joins us now live in studio. Jasmine, run us through the winners and the losers for USD 259.
Yep, District 1, Diane Albert secures a second term in office. She campaigned on strengthening literacy programs and supporting teachers, saying families want stability and communication from the district. In District 2, Julie Hedrick will serve another term. Hedrick, a former teachers union's leader, has emphasized teacher retention and safety in the classroom. Hedrick is out of town tonight, but tells KSN News she is happy and looking forward to serving 4 more years on the Board of Education. District 5 will have a new representative on the school board. Amy Jensen Ousted incumbent Kathy Bond. The retired teacher of 32 years, received nearly 400 more votes than Bond. Jensen says she wants to bring transparency and accountability to the board, especially when it comes to budget decisions.
I feel great. I feel public education won tonight, and the voters were ready for a change on the board, ready for someone with experience and background and some knowledge on education issues, and we're ready to work forward to make our Wichita Public Schools the best schools in the state.
Jensen said she's proud to have attended public school and feels confident she's ready to lead. And in District 6, Hazel Sabler's done after one term. Amy Warren got nearly 1,700 more votes than her. Warren focused her campaign on academic recovery and parent engagement following the pandemic.
I feel really supported and I feel really encouraged, and I would love to think that all of the votes that are coming in right now are a representation of people who care about the educators.
She says the first thing she would do is make sure she builds really good connections with other people that are on that board. These results are still unofficial until they canvass next week, but for the likely winners, tonight marks the beginning of a new chapter for Wichita's largest school district. The new board members will be sworn in early next year. Here for you, Jasmine Aduse, KSN News 3.
Jasmine, thank you. Hutchinson Public Schools will not be renovating their elementary schools or building a new middle school. Voters overwhelmingly rejected a nearly $110 million bond project. KSN's Mike Mahoney has been following this race and joins us now live.
Well, Julia, Hutchinson voters said no to USD 308's bond proposal by a roughly 3-to-1 ratio. With 100% of precincts reporting, more than 3,600 Hutch voters rejected the bond proposal, while a little more than 1,200 voted for it. I spoke to some of the leaders of the voting group Stop the Bond Hutchinson, as well as the president of the USD 308 school board. The Stop the Bond group is celebrating this evening and says voters sent a strong message about property taxes, while education issues in the school district are not going away, and they're going to have to come up with some new solutions.
I think that the voters of Hutchinson turned out in a big way and sent a very clear message that they're tired of higher property taxes, and this bond issue didn't just not fit the needs of our community.
We need to do something to address these problems, and so now that it didn't pass, well, we've got to go back and go back to the drawing board a little bit.
As for voter turnout, this issue had the Hutchinson community coming out in much larger numbers than your typical city school election in the city. There were almost 1,900 early votes cast, and election workers say that's about 400 more votes than they would typically see in this kind of election. Here for you, Mike Mahoney, KSN News 3.
Mike, thank you. And we want to run you through other school bond projects and whether they passed. For Mulvane's $45 million school bond, the district is in 3 counties: Sedgwick, Sumner, and Cowley counties. The yeses lead the noes by just 57 votes. This is Mulvane's second try at a bond this year. This one is $15 million less than the one the district tried to pass in the spring. It would create secure entrances at the elementary and middle schools and replace and remodel part of the middle school to add a community storm shelter. In Ark City, the nearly $53 million bond overwhelmingly passed. Question 2 is closer. About 30 votes separate the yeses from the noes right now. Question 1 would make major upgrades to the middle school, including renovating a special education room and replacing the outdated vocal and orchestra rooms. Question 2 would build a pre-K center so the district can free up classroom space in elementary schools. We have a look at how special election questions fared this cycle. In Finney County, almost 3/4 of voters approved an $87.5 million bond to renovate the jail and law enforcement center. That bond will be paid for with a half-cent sales tax. In Ellsworth County, voters approved a $3.2 million bond and quarter-cent sales tax to update the 45-year-old jail. The sheriff said the money will be used to give the jail a new booking area, expanded storage, and a new fence to have a secure connection between the jail and the courthouse.
Pawnee County changing the purpose of its 1% sales tax. Voters approved moving the money to fund public safety operations, including the sheriff's office, jail, dispatch, and emergency management. It was originally put in place to cover the county's critical care hospital, but bonds for it are already paid off.
Southwest Kansas Hospital is trying to stick around, but voters in Stanton County rejected raising the mill levy by 1.5 mils to support it. However, only 7 votes separate the yeses from the nos. Hospital leaders say they have lost nearly $250,000 because of declining property valuations over the last couple years. Without funding, they will have to lay off staff or close completely. And there are hundreds of races we simply cannot get to tonight at 10. Those results, though, are all at ksn.com. They are updated as they come in.
350 races.